Yo, what is up, guys? It is CRPHD back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about credit, more specifically how I started my credit journey at the age of 18. Quick disclaimer, this isn't a financial channel, nor is it professional financial advice. This is just some basic information about how I got started personally that may help you find your beginning point as well. So since you clicked on this video, you might be wondering to yourself, what is credit? Why is it important? And most importantly, what can you do to get started? Credit, as defined by Google, is a number assigned to a person that indicates to lenders their capacity to repay a loan. Think of it as a grade on how good or bad you are at paying back money. There are different credit scoring models out there. The most common one that you'll probably see is the FICO 8 scoring model, ranging between 300 and 850. Obviously, higher is better. Credit is an extremely important aspect of your financial future, and getting started early with building those good credit habits could potentially save you hundreds of thousands of dollars in the future by getting you the best interest rates on things like a car, a house. You get the idea. I know some people compare credit cards like to the idea of which came first, the chicken or their eggs, since most credit card options require you to have some sort of established credit history already, which then leads back to the initial question, how do you get credit if you're new at it? You know what I mean? Assuming you have no credit, I would suggest to most people starting with a secured credit card, such as the Discover It secured card, which offers pretty decent cashback rewards considering that most secured cards don't. Or I would also recommend the Chime Credit Builder card, which I'll elaborate a little bit more on in a minute. The main reason I chose this specific category of credit cards is because they are usually very easy to use, fee-free, and offer a low to no risk way to safely build credit. Especially when starting off, I feel like that is the most important thing, to not bite off more than you can chew. It's the unsecured credit cards, aka the normal ones, that you really got to be on your shit for. Because that is a very easy way to get into debt, especially if you do not understand how these things work. Another way to get a significant jumpstart on your credit journey is by becoming what's called an authorized user. This is usually whenever a person gets added to someone else's credit account. Usually people get added by their parents, significant others, or someone that they just trust in general. And basically what kind of happens is you adopt over that good credit history from that other person's account that you're being put on, and it kind of gives your credit profile a little bit of a boost, and you're basically just piggybacking off of that other person in a way. Now, there are pros and cons to becoming an authorized user. The pro being obviously that you're going to be able to adopt over that good credit history and that be applied to your credit profile. But the con being that if that same person decides to poorly manage that line of credit, it can negatively affect your credit as well, since you are tied to that same person's account. So just definitely something to be mindful of. Now, with that being said, that kind of leads to, I guess, the official start of my credit journey, which actually took place before I was 18, because my mom actually made me an authorized user on one of her Capital One credit cards, which definitely gave me a solid head start. Even with a significant boost, it still wasn't enough for me to get my credit score yet, but rest assured, over a few more months of continuous on-time payment, eventually I did get it, and you might experience that as well. But in between those few months of waiting, I feel like I opened what is probably the most safest credit building option out there, and that is with the Chime Credit Builder card that I mentioned earlier. Chime is a financial technology company that offers banking services, and one of those services happens to be the credit builder card option. You will need to open a checking account first, as well as make a qualifying direct deposit, but once that's done and out the way, you will have access to that credit builder card option. If you are interested in opening an account, I will have a referral link down in the description below that will allow you to make an additional $100 whenever you make a qualifying direct deposit to that same Chime account. I as well will make a bonus for referring you to the platform. It's a win for the both of us. If you're interested, link in the description below. But honestly, it really is an unstoppable way to build credit, especially with a safer credit building option on. This feature enables Chime to set the money that you spend aside, and it automatically pay it off at the end of each statement for you. That way you never miss a payment. This feature definitely helped me whenever I was first starting out because you're basically building credit on autopilot. But after about 5 months of continuous on-time payments with that card, as well as already being an authorized user on one of my mom's credit card accounts, I finally was given my credit score of an astonishing, 743 right out the gate. Literally the same night I got my credit score, I applied for my first unsecured credit card, which normally I wouldn't recommend to people because most credit card applications will result in a hard inquiry on your account, which will temporarily drop your score. What I would recommend doing is filling out a pre-approval application for the specific credit card that you're trying to apply for, if they have one, so that way you can know the odds or the likelihood on whether or not you'll get accepted based on the information that you put on that pre-approval form. This can prevent that hard inquiry on your credit report in the case where you do get denied. The card that I was applying for specifically though was the Apple card, and they only do what's called a soft pull, which basically does nothing to your account. It's the hard pull that comes after you accept the initial offer, which is the credit limit that they will give you along with the APR. But once again, that's only if they offer it to you though. I've had my eye on the Apple card for a good little while now, mainly because it was a zero fee credit card, as well as it offered basically an unlimited 2% cash back on all purchases whenever using the card via Apple Pay, which I pretty much use Apple Pay everywhere I go, so that was nice. And as well as the way that the card integrates with the wallet app was just the icing on top of the cake for me. Unfortunately, I did end up getting a really high interest rate, but that really wasn't an issue for me because I always pay my card off in full at the end of every month, periodically while making early payments within the statement period. But I have a simple philosophy, and it's if you can't pay the card off in full every month, you don't need a credit card, because that is one of the most common bad habits that people do that put themselves into debt. And it is a really, really hard hole to get out of, especially because that interest that builds up on those payments that you already owe, it's not a good time. And understandably, that is why some people feel that debit cards are more superior than credit cards, because it is just so easy to fall into that debt hole. The bottom line is, while a credit card can be a super useful financial tool when used correctly, it can equally hurt you just as much. But when used properly though, all you can do is benefit from it, whether that be from cash back, accumulating points, or anything else in between, such as just the perks that come with using a credit card and all the security features of not spending your money up front. Now, of course, all this is going to be up to you and your money spending habits. Hopefully you learned something new in this video that you didn't know before, and as well as that it gave you a good starting point or idea on just where you want to start with your credit journey in general. And as always, thank you if you made it till the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Be sure and stay tuned because the next video is right around the corner. Peace. I swear, anytime. What's up, my boy?
What's up?
You want to say hi?
Oh, what up? It's the young sexy Don guy.
Oh my, the what? The what god?
The young sexy Don guy. You feel me?
Don.
The one, the only.
Don.
Make sure to follow me on social media at Poetic Poison.
I literally got a text from Xavier and a phone call from you as I'm recording. You always call when I'm recording for some reason. I don't get it, man.
But yeah, I was actually just calling to make sure that the audio sounds good, that you can hear me clear.
Oh, you got the headphones? Yeah, you sound crystal clear.
Sir.
My boy got his new headphones, so I guess those are the Sony ones, right?
Yep, the Sony XM5s.
Yep.